Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. I hope you're doing great. This week is going to be very interesting. I'm going to do a lot of work around the astrology of July this week. I'm posting the rest of the monthlies for each zodiac sign, and I feel like I'm going to do some videos for you around the retrogrades. We have 4 retrogrades happening in July. It's a big deal. I'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into the week, and also how to work with some of the retrogrades. I think I did a little bit of that in the For Whoever yesterday, but I'm going to go deeper this week. All right, let's see what the message is for this morning. No Pathfinders this week, no astrology this week. This is a hotel. Holiday. Well, kind of. It's a hotel week. Not for me, but it's a hotel week this week. All right, taking shelter. The answers are within. That is a big deal. Surrendering to the journey, release control, answering the call. The time is now. And mystic healer. Healing energy flows through you and to you. And I did talk quite a bit in that reading yesterday, the For Whoever, about the retrogrades and about the need to, instead of speeding up when stuff happens, getting slower. Go slow, and go slow to go fast. So this releasing control, the answers are within, the time is now. There's something here about changing direction. And I feel like if you have been part of hustle culture, if you feel like you've been part of that, maybe beyond your control, or you feel like it's beyond your control, this is a time to really reconsider. And it's a time to pivot. It's a time to shift into a new way of doing life. That's what July is going to be all about. A new way of doing life than what we've been doing. Okay? So I want you to be in your body. I want you to be aligned with your intuition. If you're up in your head, spinning and thinking, no, that's not intuition. That's fear. Okay? Underneath is the King of Wands, the 9 of Pentacles, the 4 of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. This is another thing I was talking about, which is really a loud message right now, is the decreasing the need for external validation. If you are looking to other people to give you a sense of self, meaning, well, I have this job title, and so that gives me my identity. We have a lot of stuff going retrograde, especially in Aries, Neptune, Saturn, and Chiron all this month. So whatever, if you are looking externally for that, like Saturn, well, I'm working really hard in Aries, taking action, and you're not aligned with your true mission and purpose. And it's like, well, I'm just, this is what I think I'm supposed to do on this planet. This is the job title I have, and this is all I know. And, whatever it is, I feel like there's a realignment here, a reassessment of, what am I doing here? Why am I putting so much effort into this when I really don't want it? I don't like it, or it's not for me. It's not who I am. It's not my mission and calling. The calling is calling you right now to reassess how you spend your days is how you spend your life. And if you're like, well, this is just for now. Okay. But then what other things are you doing during the day? So let's say, hey, I'm just doing this because I have to do this for now, but how am I building a bridge to where I want to go? That requires effort. And right now, it might just require introspection. It might just be like a slow down, stop. Okay? The Queen of Wands, your creativity. The 4 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, very introspective. That 4 of Pentacles. The Judgment card, the Hierophant card. So that's Uranus at 29 degrees, moving into Gemini. Woo! Holy cow. 5 of Swords. Sorry to have that reaction, but I couldn't help myself. The High Priestess, the 8 of Pentacles, and 3 of Swords. something that you think or something that you have committed to or have had commitment to might need shifting, and you're needing to align with your intuition to figure out what that is. All right. Which direction should I go in? The Judgment card is our crossroads. And if I stay the course, then I feel like we get this 5 of Swords and 3 of Swords. This is not about staying the course, but it's also not about quick, sudden movements. 4 of Swords, 4 of Wands, 4 of Coins, 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Cups is missing, which is also stagnation. The 4 of Wands is not stagnation. The 4 of Wands is about celebration. It's also about moving, changing. I feel like this has to do with stand still long enough to find your tribe or find a community that really aligns with your true essence and nature. Ace of Pentacles. Like all this time, I've been putting in effort into something that isn't paying me back, isn't really nurturing me. It isn't really, there's nothing about it. So when I was in a relationship with a narcissist, I can absolutely be confident in saying that to you. When I have had this checklist in my head, and it's like, it was kind of a new thing. Like I don't remember running through this checklist before that particular relationship, but this relationship really gave me pause to go, is this really for me? It was the first time I really thought about that in a very different way. You know, I had always been trained or brought up, however you want to talk about it, that being in a relationship is good. Being in a relationship is what you need to do because that's the strength, that's the power, that's the, being a team and all this kind of stuff. But like, you can't just plug any old person into that other slot, right? You've got to really see who that person is. And I was like, oh, I guess I didn't do that. And so I started to assess about like, what is good for me about this? And I also remember doing I was purchasing, this is not this house, but I was looking at another house, and there was something about the deal that was just like, there was nothing about it that was good for me. Nothing. The financial deal, the timing of it, the location of the house, even though the house itself was really cool, I was like, is this really serving my long-term goal of what I want? Is this really going to do that? It's just a roof over your head at this point, because nothing on this list is really being checked off. It's out in sort of away from people. So there's no community, there's not, and there's no this, there's no that to it. There's no this, there's no that to it. And these are the things you said you wanted. So like, why are we doing this? And then the money thing was just ridiculous and what they wanted me to do. And it was just too fast, and I was just like, okay, I'm not doing this. Like, what on this list is actually being served? And it was just sort of like, well, like, you get caught up in the wanting to get to that next chapter. And then you're like, whoa, slow down. What about this is good for me? And I see the King and Queen of Wands here. So I'm feeling like some of you are in retrospect, because we have so many retrogrades happening in July. In retrospect, the last time I did this, I blew off all of these red flags, or I overlooked that this wasn't part of the deal, or whatever it was. And then I had to then I fell down a well and I had to heal from that well. So like, how many times are you willing to fall down a well before you stop yourself, before you do something? That's what July is saying to you. Before you do this, think about all of that other time that you were like, well, okay, I guess I can live with this, or I guess this is not that bad of a deal, or I guess, and you're like, wallpaper over cockroaches. All those times, they're here to teach you. And I feel like this is saying, like, there's a big commitment coming up. This Taurus energy, Gemini and Taurus, wherever you have it in your chart, and we'll talk more about that. Gemini and Taurus. That's not right. Uranus moving from Taurus into Gemini. It's like out of the frying pan into the fire. There's definitely something here about energy moving faster. There is something here about like you think it's one thing and it's another, because Gemini is duality, dualistic. You know, like I think this person is this, but they're not. So what is this? There's a new commitment coming up here. And if you use your past experience, and I feel like the commitment is very powerful. Like it has something to do with you being a leader, a healer, a teacher, a guide. Okay, so maybe on the right path, but there's something about it that you might be giving away, giving away what you truly want to accomplish because of the headiness of the wow. If I don't take this, then it's never coming again, which I don't think is true. I think this is showing up during this transformation. So Uranus moves into Gemini July 7th, and we have all of these retrogrades. So Uranus is going to be in Gemini, my friend, for 9 years, 7 to 9 years. I can't remember exactly, 2032, I guess 7 years. So you don't have to jump at the first thing. This Taurus energy is like the 29th degree. So it's between now and July 7th. Okay. Between now and July 7th. Strength card coming up. That's Leo. Woo! 7 of Swords. There's the Gemini energy of Lovers card and the King of Swords. I feel like someone's going to try to push you into doing something really fast because they know you want it to be done, like what I said about that house. They know you just want to be done with this part of the process or this part of the experience. Like, I hate negotiating. I don't want to negotiate. Don't take the first offer. Okay. There's something here about wanting to feel safe and comfortable, and this allow yourself to feel uncomfortable for a little while. Okay, for a little while, because I feel like moving too fast, making this decision too fast, you're not gonna see that there's a lie at the core of it. There's a falsehood or a lie that is provable. Okay, this 5 of Swords, someone's trying to get the best of you here by knowing something about you and your past, knowing that you want external validation, knowing that you want to be seen a certain way, knowing that you want this to be over because I don't like it. Allow yourself to be uncomfortable. That is going to be the key. Knight of Wands, 6 of Swords, Page of Swords, and the Magician. Oof, I do not like this. So you, all the time, everything we've talked about. Now, this is one of the few times that I love this 4 of Pentacles card. This is about holding on to your money. This is about slowing down. Saturn retrograde says slow the fuck down. Okay? This High Priestess, this 8 of Pentacles, do your due diligence. Don't move too quickly. We have a Mercury retrograde happening later this month in Leo. And Leo is about validation from external sources, but it's also about power and strength, which the Strength card is showing up here. So there's something that somebody might make you think is your idea, but it's really not. It makes you look good in the short term, but I don't like the long term. I don't like that, because Magician and the Knight of Wands and the 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords, there's some sleight of hand going on here. So I'm going to ask a little bit more about, so I don't want to just jump in. Remember all these other things, all these other times, and I've finally gotten myself to a good place, or I finally see them all. Even if I'm not in a good place right now, I finally see my patterns. I finally see that I jump at things, or that I have a weak spot for looking like a genius or looking like a winner, when in fact, it comes with a lot more problems. Read the fine print. Read the fine print. If you have to sign something this month, anything legally binding, make sure a lawyer sees it, or somebody else that isn't in your state of whatever your triggers are, whatever your wounds are, because Chiron is going retrograde also this month. So whatever your wounds are, someone can use that against you. Be careful, okay? So read the fine print, my friend. 3 of Pentacles, Tower. 8 of Swords. And the Wheel of Fortune. You can't say you didn't see it coming. That's going to be the kind of thing that this person has illuminated the downsides or the negativity or the thing that isn't good for you. They've said it, but they've made the thing that you think is more important bigger than the stuff that's really actually bad for you. They've manipulated the images. They've manipulated the perception of what's going on so that you think that, well, I know this is the downside of it, but I get to stick it to somebody, or I get to be the winner here, or I get to be proven right about something or whatever. Actually, in the long term, no bueno. And the Wheel of Fortune here, the 7 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles. There might be a chance to reorient yourself after this goes down, but I feel like they're kind of getting at your ego. And ego is just our identity, who we think we are. Who we think we are, or who we want to be, or who we think other people are. We're letting that illusion run away with us. And as a collective, we're letting that illusion run away with us. And people are hiding in the weeds here to really, well, you didn't read this. The fine print says I can do this. The fine print, I can take your home. There's going to be a lot of stuff around sketchy loans again. Be careful. There's going to be a lot of stuff around sketchy loans, around sketchy money. Hey, if it's too good to be true, it 100% is now. Because this is like, we're going to tell you how bad this is going to be for you, but because you get one little benefit from it that's fleeting, that doesn't really mean anything. It's just an ego boost, or that is not sustainable. So your job in July is to slow the fuck down. Okay? Please hear me when I say that. So let's go deeper into the reading, and I am going to look at the retrogrades in the extended. I'm going to talk about how you can work with each of these extended or these retrogrades. And one of the things that, I've already told you, the main thing to do is two things. The main thing to do is remember all the times you didn't listen to your intuition, and also that someone is telling you what they're going to do. But you're hearing it, but you're like, oh, that won't be that bad. Stop. Okay? All right, if you want to continue with me, link is below. Pathfinders, let's just keep going. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.